It started the way many family betrayals do, with silence. The kind of silence that screams louder than words, that follows you into adulthood like an unwanted shadow. My name is Lila Carter, and this isn't just a story of hurt, it's a reckoning. My son, Max, is 6 years old. He's bright, curious, and sweet to his core. He says please before I remind him, hugs strangers who look lonely, and once gave his favorite action figure to a girl crying in kindergarten. He doesn't understand cruelty. At least, he didn't, until the day my sister turned him into a joke. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. It was a weekend gathering at my parents' home, or what I now refer to as the stage where the performance of favoritism, mockery, and manipulation reached its final act. I had been hesitant to go, but Max begged. He missed his cousins, especially Luke, my sister Hannah's son, who's the same age. I said yes, and I wish I hadn't. The moment I stepped into the house, I felt it, that cold undertone, the eye rolls from my mother when she saw the off-brand snacks I brought, the way my father didn't bother looking up from his phone. Hannah, with her perfect manicure and syrup-thick voice, greeted me like a receptionist greeting someone she already disliked. "Aw, Lila, you're here," she said flatly, then turned to my son. "Max, baby, go on in. Luke's waiting." The boys ran off. I went to the kitchen to help. That was my role, invisible labor. My mother handed me a mop. "Luke spilled orange soda earlier. Be useful, sweetheart." No hello, no smile, just a command. It was later, much later, that I realized I hadn't heard laughter from the kids in a while. That's when I noticed the hallway buzzing with whispers. My cousin Tara, pale-faced, walked by and muttered, "You should go see what's happening." I pushed open the den door. What I saw stopped my breath cold. Max was kneeling on the floor. In front of him, my parents' dog's bowl, full of cereal and milk. Around him, laughter. My sister filming with her phone. Luke pointing and screaming, "He's eating like a puppy." And my parents sitting on the couch, sipping tea, laughing. I froze. Max looked up and saw me, tears already in his eyes, confusion wrinkling his forehead. "Mommy, it was a joke, right?" Something broke inside me. "What is this?" I shouted. "Oh, calm down, Lila." Hannah smirked, not even flinching. "It was funny. Max is fine. He even giggled at first." "You filmed him eating out of a dog bowl?" My mother waved me off. "Oh, please. You're always so dramatic. He needs to learn to toughen up. It's just a silly prank." "Number?" "It's humiliation. It's abuse," I said, scooping Max into my arms. "And what are you going to do about it?" Hannah taunted. My hands were shaking as I walked out of the house with Max in my arms. I buckled him in the car, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "I'm sorry I brought you here." He nodded sleepily, but I saw it, the crack in his innocence. I sat in my car outside my own apartment that night, seething. Every childhood memory of being ignored, of being mocked, of being the difficult daughter came back like thunder. They used to call me the weak one, the crybaby, and now they were doing the same to my son. But they picked the wrong child this time, because Max might not know how to fight back, but I did. And I was about to take this whole damn circus to court. The first thing I did after tucking Max into bed that night was open my laptop and start writing everything down. Time, place, details, witnesses. I saved every screenshot of Hannah's Instagram story, where she'd laughingly posted, "My nephew thinks he's a puppy. Died you too cute, dog, just a joke." It had 42 likes, and one of the comments, my mother's, said, "He really is too soft, just like his mom." I wasn't just hurt, I was enraged. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I booked an appointment with a family attorney. I told him everything, the video, the emotional damage, the hostile environment. He raised his brows and asked, "Are you ready for this to get ugly?" "It already is," I replied. "I want custody restrictions, restraining orders, and a defamation claim if possible." He leaned back in his chair. "Most people back down from this kind of family war. But if you're serious, we'll need to build a solid case. document every instance of cruelty. We'll subpoena social media, and we'll get a child psychologist to assess the trauma. I nodded. I'm not backing down, not this time. I didn't tell my parents anything. I let them think their silence would buy them peace. But what they didn't realize is that silence was about to become their undoing. A week later, I showed up at my parents' home, not for a visit, but to deliver a legal notice in person. I handed it to my father. He looked down at the envelope, then up at me and smirked. Really, Lila? You're going to sue your sister over a bowl of cereal? She fed my son out of a dog dish, I said calmly. You stood there and laughed. My mother came to the door, drying her hands on a kitchen towel. Do you know what this is going to do to your sister's job search? No one hires someone involved in a lawsuit. She should have thought of that before turning my child into a meme. Oh, grow up, she snapped. You've always been jealous of Hannah. You're making this about you. No, I said, holding her gaze. This time, I'm making it about Max. When the court hearing was announced, my sister posted a photo of herself outside a trendy coffee shop with the caption, Can't believe I'm being dragged to court by my own blood. Drama queen energy. But her smile didn't last, because when court day came, so did her downfall. My lawyer presented the video in full. The judge, a stern woman with a calm but sharp voice, watched without emotion. Then she looked at Hannah. Is this your video? Yes, Your Honor, Hannah said with a smug shrug. But it was just a joke. Kids laugh at silly things. The judge turned to the child psychologist we brought in. He cleared his throat and said, Max Carter has exhibited signs of humiliation-based trauma. He reported being ashamed and said he was not like the dog. This is not a harmless prank. This was targeted psychological harm. My parents shifted in their seats. Then it was my turn. I took the stand, and I told the truth, the years of neglect, the labels, the way they'd raised Hannah as the golden child and me as the punchline, how I kept silent for peace, for family. And now they're doing it to my son, and I won't allow it. When I sat back down, my hands were shaking, not from fear, from release. The judge's voice cut through the courtroom. This court finds that the actions depicted in the video constitute intentional emotional distress upon a minor. Ms. Hannah Carter, you are ordered to complete a course in child sensitivity training. You are also banned from unsupervised contact with Max Carter. And due to your public sharing of the video, this court allows Ms. Lila Carter to pursue a civil defamation claim. Hannah's mouth dropped. Wait, what? And to the grandparents, the judge added, turning to my parents. Your silence in this act is noted, and if the mother chooses to pursue a restraining order, it will be considered valid. I didn't need to look at my mother to know she was seething. I could hear it in her hissed breath. You just love playing the victim, don't you? No, I said, loud enough for the courtroom to hear. I just stopped playing the fool. Hannah cried outside the courthouse that day, mascara running. Job interviews canceled, her reputation dented beyond repair. Me? I walked away, holding Max's hand. The air felt cleaner, my spine straighter. And I knew the best part was still to come, because I wasn't done yet. A month passed after the court hearing. Hannah vanished from social media. No more brunch selfies, no job updates, just silence. And for a family that thrived on appearances, silence was the loudest scream. I wasn't celebrating, though. Not yet. I had one more piece of unfinished business, my parents. They still called Max's trauma a misunderstanding. They said I overreacted, that I ruined Hannah's future. But what they didn't realize was that I'd already started building a future they would no longer be a part of. It started with a phone call from the private school Max had been waitlisted for. We reviewed your legal case, the principal said, and your advocacy for your son speaks volumes. We'd be honored to offer him a full scholarship. I cried after I hung up. That same week, I signed a lease on a new place, not just an apartment, but a townhouse with a tiny garden where Max could plant his sunflowers like he always wanted. And then came the final step. I called a real estate agent about my parents' house. Why? because I owned 50% of it. They didn't know that when my grandfather passed, he'd left me his share of the property quietly. I'd never exercised that power. Until now. I filed for forced sale of the home. It caused a storm. My father called me furious. "You can't just take away our house. We raised you." "You raised me to be quiet while you laughed at my son's pain." "You're bitter," my mom snapped through the phone. "You think this makes you powerful?" "No," I said calmly. "It makes me free." The sale went through. The papers were delivered. My parents tried to fight it, but legally, they couldn't stop it. And when they were served the 60-day eviction notice, my mother came to my door for the first time in years. She didn't come to apologize. She came to scream. "You tore this family apart!" "No," I replied. "You did that the day you laughed at a crying boy on the floor." Her face twisted. "You're still angry over a joke?" "It was never a joke to him, and it's not a joke to me now." She tried to enter. I blocked the doorway. Max stood behind me, holding his sketchbook. "Is that the little artist?" she asked sweetly, her voice suddenly sugar. "Grandma brought cookies." "You're not his grandma," I said, my voice firm. "Excuse me? You lost that title the day you chose cruelty over kindness." She dropped the cookie tin on the porch and walked away without a word. I closed the door, sealing it not just from her presence, but from her legacy. 6 months later, the house was sold, but instead of just cashing out, I did something better. I partnered with a local nonprofit that supported kids who'd been bullied and shamed by family members. We turned the property into a community art center called Max's Room. On the opening day, Max stood next to me in a little suit, holding scissors for the ribbon cutting. There were paintings on the walls, donated supplies on the shelves, and soft couches where kids could sit and feel safe. No mocking, no labels, no shame. He whispered, "Mom, are you proud?" I looked at him, tears in my eyes. I've never been prouder of anything in my life. Hannah never recovered her career. The court documents haunted every employer search. My parents? They moved into a cramped apartment 2 towns away. My mom still sends the occasional birthday card, unsigned. But the difference now? I don't need their approval. I don't need their acceptance. Because I built a home where love isn't earned through silence. It's given through courage. And every time a child walks into Max's room and sees a bowl of fresh fruit instead of a dog dish, I know I didn't just win. I healed. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.